Okay, we are recording. This is Nanette Kennedy. You may not see me, but I am here. And this is the uh, Conversations with God Book 3 discussion group. The book is by Neale Donald Walsch, and I'm with Humanities Team and the Evolution Revolution. And we had a little bit of technical difficulties. And today I do have to go at 1, or in an hour, less than an hour, so it's going to be a little bit short today. But anyway.
Nanette, how do you tell you? We can't actually see you.
You can?
Yes.
Oh, well, okay, I can't see. Okay, that's perfect, but I can't see me. So I guess I'm on screen, and we'll just, figure this out as it goes.
Can anyone see me?
Who's that?
Shabana.
No, I can't see you, Shabana.
I see your name.
I can't see myself either, and I don't know what's the problem with my. It's so annoying.
Yep, I can't tell you what's going on, but we'll figure it out.
I tried from my iPhone and was not allowed to this morning, so I had to come up to the computer.
All right. Well, anyway, Linda Parkett is going to read for us. Thank you. And Angela, thank you for reading last week.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I missed last week.
Me too. All right. Go ahead, and unless you're going to be talking, put yourself on mute. And go ahead, Linda, and start when you're ready.
Okay. This is chapter 9, and do remember that I can't see you when I'm reading, so if you want me to stop, someone will have to interrupt me. So chapter 9, Conversations with God, book 3. This is Neale. Life must be like a school. I can remember being excited every fall about the first day of school, and at the end of the year, thrilled by getting out. Precisely, exactly, you've hit it. That's it exactly. Only life is not a school. Yes, I remember. You explained that in book 1. Until then, I thought that life was a school and that we had come here to learn our lessons. You helped me tremendously in book 1 to see that that's a false doctrine. I'm glad. That's what we're trying to do here with this trilogy, bring you to clarity. And now you're clear about why and how the soul can be overjoyed after death without necessarily ever regretting life. But you asked a larger question before, and we should revisit it. I'm sorry. You said, if the soul is so unhappy in the body, why doesn't it just leave? Oh, yes. Well, it does. And I don't mean only at death, as I've just explained. Not leave because it is unhappy. Rather, it leaves because it wishes to rejuvenate. Does it do this often? Every day. The soul leaves the body every day? When? When the soul yearns for its larger experience. It finds this experience rejuvenating. It just leaves? Yes. The soul leaves your body all the time, continually, throughout your life. This is why we invented sleep. The soul leaves the body during sleep? Of course. That's what sleep is. Periodically, throughout your life, the soul seeks rejuvenation, refueling, if you will, so that it can continue lumbering along in this carrier you call your body. You think it is easy for your soul to inhabit your body? It is not. It may be simple, but it's not easy. It is a joy, but it is not easy. It is the most difficult thing your soul has ever done. The soul, which knows a lightness and a freedom which you can't imagine, yearns for that state of being again, just as a child who loves school can yearn for summer vacation, just as an adult who yearns for company can also, while having company, yearn to be alone. The soul seeks a true state of being. The soul is lightness and freedom. It's also peace and joy. It's also limitless and painless, perfect wisdom and perfect love. It is all these things and more. Yet it experiences precious few of these things while it is with the body. And so it made an arrangement with itself. It told itself it would stay with the body as long as it needs to in order to create and experience itself as it now chooses, but only if it could leave the body whenever it wished. It does this daily through the experience that you call sleep. Sleep is the experience of the soul leaving the body? Yes. I thought we fell asleep because the body needed rest. Well, you are mistaken. It is the other way around. The soul seeks the rest and so causes the body to fall asleep. The soul literally drops the body, sometimes right where it is standing, when it is tired of the limits, tired of the heaviness, and lack of freedom of being with the body. It will just leave the body when it seeks refueling, when it becomes weary of all the non-truth and the false reality and the imagined dangers, and when it seeks once again resurrection, reassurance, restfulness, and reawakening for the mind. When the soul first embraces the body, it finds the experience extremely difficult. It is very tiring, particularly for a newly arriving soul. That is why babies sleep a lot. When the soul gets over the initial shock of being attached to a body once more, it begins to increase its tolerance for that. It stays with it more. At the same time, the part you called your mind moves into forgetfulness, just as it was designed to do. Even the soul's flights out of the body, taken now on a less frequent but still usually daily basis, do not always bring the mind back to remembrance. Indeed, during these times, the soul may be free, but the mind may be confused. Thus, the whole being may ask, where am I? What am I creating? These searchings may lead to fitful journeyings, even frightening ones. You call these trips nightmares. Sometimes just the opposite will occur. The soul will arrive at a place of great remembering. Now the mind will have an awakening. This will fill it with peace, and which you will experience in your body when you return to it. The more your whole being experiences the reassurance of these rejuvenations, and the more it remembers what it is doing and trying to do with the body, the less your soul will choose to stay away from the body, for now it knows it came to the body for a reason and with a purpose. Its desire is to get on with that and to make the best use of all the time with the body that it has. A person of great wisdom needs little sleep. Are you saying you can tell how evolved a person is by how much sleep that person needs? Almost, yes. You could almost say that. Sometimes a soul chooses to leave the body just for the sheer joy of it. It may not be seeking reawakening for the mind or rejuvenation of the body. It may simply be choosing to recreate the sheer ecstasy of knowing the oneness. So it would not always be valid to say that the more sleep a person gets, the less evolved a person is. Still, it is not a coincidence that beings become more and more aware of what they are doing with their bodies, and that they are not their bodies, but that which is with their bodies. They become willing and able to spend more and more time with their bodies, and thus appear to need less sleep. Now, some beings even choose to experience both the forgetfulness of being with the body and the oneness of the soul at once. These beings can train a part of themselves not to identify with the body while they are still with the body. Thus, experiencing the ecstasy of knowing who they really are without having to lose human wakefulness in order to do it. How do they do this? How can I do this? It is a question of awareness, of reaching a state of total awareness. As I said before, you cannot do totally aware. You can only be totally aware. How? There must be some tools you can give me. Daily meditation is one of the best tools with which to create this experience. With it, you can raise your life energy to the highest chakra and even leave your body while you are awake. In meditation, you place yourself in a state of readiness to experience total awareness while your body is in an awakened state. This state of readiness is called true wakefulness. You do not have to be sitting in meditation to experience this. Meditation is simply a device, a tool, as you put it. But you do not have to be sitting meditation in order to experience this. You should also know that sitting meditation is not the only kind of meditation there is. There's also stopping meditation, walking meditation, doing meditation, sexual meditation. This is the state of true wakefulness. When you stop in this state, you simply stop in your tracks. Stop going where you are going. Stop doing what you are doing. Stop for a moment and just be right where you are. You become right exactly where you are. Stopping even just for a moment can be blessed. You look around slowly. You notice things you did not notice while you were passing them by. The deep smell of the earth just after it rains, that curl of the hair over the left ear of your beloved. How truly good it feels to see a child at play. You don't have to leave your body to experience this. This is the state of true wakefulness. When you walk in this state, you breathe in every flower. You fly with every bird. You feel every crunch beneath your feet. You find beauty and wisdom. For wisdom is found wherever beauty is formed, and beauty is formed everywhere out of all the stuff of life. You do not have to seek it. It will come to you. And you don't have to leave your body to experience this. This is the state of true wakefulness. When you do, in this state, you turn whatever you are doing into a meditation, and thus into a gift, an offering from you to your soul, and from your soul to the all. Washing dishes, you enjoy the warmth of the water caressing your hands, and marvel at the wonder of both water and warmth. Working at your computer, you see the words appear on the screen in front of you in response to the command of your fingers, and exhilarate over the power of the mind and body when it is harnessed to do your bidding. Preparing dinner, you feel the love of the universe, which brought you this nourishment, and as your return gift, pour into the making of this meal all the love of your being. It does not matter how extravagant or simple the meal is. Soup can be loved into deliciousness. You don't have to leave your body to experience this. This is the state of true wakefulness. When you experience sexual energy exchange in this state, you know the highest truth of who you are. The heart of your lover becomes your home. The body of your lover becomes your own. Your soul no longer imagines itself separate from anything. You don't have to leave your body to experience this. This is the state of true wakefulness. When you are in readiness, you are in wakefulness. A smile can take you there, a simple smile. Just stop everything for one moment and smile at nothing, just because it feels good. just because your heart knows a secret and because your soul knows what that secret is. Smile at that. Smile a lot. It will cure whatever ails you. You're asking me for tools, and I'm giving.
You're frozen, Linda.
As a tool. Breathe long and deep. Breathe and gently in the soft. What?
Oh, you're just frozen for a minute.
Oh, okay. Am I back?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Breathe. That is another tool. Breathe long and deep. Breathe slowly and gently. Breathe in the soft, sweet nothingness of life, so full of energy, so full of love. It is God's love you are breathing. Breathe deeply and you can feel it. Breathe very, very deeply, and the love will make you cry for joy. For you have met your God, and your God has introduced you to your soul. Once this experience has taken place, life is never the same. People talk of having been to the mountaintop or having slipped into sublime ecstasy. Their beingness is changed forever. Thank you. I understand. It's the simple things, simple acts, and the purest. Yes, but know this. Some people meditate for years and never experience this. It has to do with how open one is, how willing, and also how able to move away from any expectation. Should I meditate every day? As in all things, there are no shoulds or shouldn'ts here. It is not a question what you should do, but what you choose to do. Some souls seek to walk in awareness. Some recognize that in this life, most people are sleepwalking, unconscious. They are going through life without consciousness. Yet souls who walk in awareness choose a different path. They choose another way. They seek to experience all the peace and joy, limitless and freedom, wisdom and love that oneness brings. Not just when they have dropped the body and it has fallen asleep, but when they have risen the body up. It is said of a soul which creates such an experience, he is risen. Others in the so-called New Age term, this is a process of consciousness raising. It doesn't matter what terms you use. Words are the least reliable form of communication. It all comes down to living in awareness, and then it becomes total awareness. And what is it of which you eventually become totally aware? You eventually become totally aware of who you are. Daily meditation is one way you may achieve this, yet it requires commitment, dedication, a decision to seek inner experience, not outer reward. And remember, the silences hold the secrets. And so the sweetest sound is the sound of silence. This is the song of the soul. If you believe the noises of the world rather than the silences of your soul, you will be lost. So daily meditation is a good idea. A good idea? Yes. Yet know again what I have just said here. The song of your soul may be sung many ways. The sweet sound of silence may be heard many times. Some hear the silence in prayer. Some sing the song in their work. Some seek the secrets in quiet contemplation. Others in less contemplative surroundings. When mastery is reached, or even intermittently experienced, the noises of the world can be muffled, the distractions quieted. Even in the midst of them, all of life becomes a meditation. All of life is a meditation in which you are contemplating the divine. This is called true wakefulness or mindfulness. Experienced in this way, everything in life is blessed. There is struggle and pain and worry no more. There is only experience, which you may choose to label in any way you wish. You may choose to label it, all of it, perfection. So use your life as a meditation and all the events in it. Walk in wakefulness, not as one asleep. Move with mindfulness, not mindlessly, and do not tarry in doubt and fear, neither in guilt nor self-recrimination, yet reside in permanent splendor, in the assurance that you are grandly loved, that you are always one with me. You are forever welcome. Welcome home. For your home is in my heart, and mine in yours. I invite you to see this life as you will surely see it in death. Then you will know that there is no death, and that what you have called life and death are both part of the same unending experience. We are all that is, all that ever was, and all that ever will be, world without end. Amen.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
I'm going to have you guys go ahead and start the discussion because I need to go check and see what my granddaughter might be into. I know, it's always something. But go ahead and start, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
That was profound, you know, for the innocents that believe so many conditions. That chapter felt unconditional.
Yes.
And I like chapter 10 as well.
Well, you don't get ahead of us now.
The innocents couldn't resist.
When it says that you don't have to leave your body to experience awareness, has anybody else experienced this not needing to sleep sometimes? That he speaks about.
Can you say that again?
Well, he's saying you don't need to leave your body. Sorry, you can leave your body while you're still awake, basically. You don't need to necessarily go to sleep sometimes, and some people don't need to sleep in order to contact their soul. Yeah, I'm not saying the right words, but has anyone else here experienced that? Where they haven't needed to sleep at night because they're so much in touch with themselves.
Well, this chapter, I'm going to have to think about this chapter because I've never related sleeping as a time that the soul left the body. So it's interesting because I have a lot of sleep. I don't want to say issues, but there's a lot of times where I have spent the entire night feeling as if I was wide awake. Even though I wake up in the morning and I don't have bags over my eyes, I don't feel tired. And so now I have to kind of go back and process those times with this information because it's causing me to wonder what exactly is going on in my sleep. You know? I'm familiar with the concept of the soul leaving the body. And in fact, the workshop that I missed last week for was with a gentleman by the name of Ken W. Stone, who is known as the soul archaeologist. His work is helping people reconnect with their soul and embody their soul. because so many people are walking around pretty much disconnected from their souls. So this chapter is fascinating to me.
And what happens during meditation is really fascinating to me too, because I find if I do it a lot, I start to get more and more and more in touch, and I do it more often than usual. And then I get to a point where things will happen in the meditation room, like somebody will say, I'm really sorry that I was coughing so much, and I had to go out of the room, I had a coughing fit, and I will say, I didn't even hear you. And because you almost have left the room in your head.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing chapter, isn't it?
Yeah, really. Very.
And I see that Helen Rawlinson, our new country contact for Australia, has joined the call. Hi, Helen.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Grateful that you're here.
Thank you. I was just looking at Facebook. It's 4:30 in the morning here, and I saw the call was happening, so I thought I'd just click on it for a little while.
Thank you for doing that. And I see that Kessar from Vancouver has left the call.
Well, welcome, Helen. I'm glad to see you here too. Nice to meet you, as it were.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So what did you guys touch on in the minutes I was gone?
The soul leaving the body.
One of the things that God is saying on my page numbers are different than all of yours, but Neil asks, how? There must be some tools you can give me. And God talks about daily meditation. And I was just thinking about how I can kind of get into a meditative state when I'm vacuuming. You know, there's the white noise. You're just kind of into what you're doing. And I think of things that I'm grateful for, like the vacuum cleaner. But I also think of things like, I don't wash dishes by hand because I have a dishwasher. But on occasion, I have to do some pots and pans. And I always go into it like, ugh. And then while I'm doing it, I think about how blessed I am that I am able to wash my pots and pans. And that can kind of put me in a meditative place. And I don't know whether it's focusing on the bubbles or the scrub brush or whatever it is. But I think meditation can happen, this is my opinion, at any time. Over.
I just was describing the drive home that I have to take from Anchorage to Seward, which is about a 2.5 hour drive, 130 miles. And I describe it as a driving meditation because that's what it is. I'm driving through this amazing wilderness, and I use that time to be in a form of meditation. Obviously, my eyes are not closed because I'm driving, but it's definitely, I think you can meditate anywhere at any time.
And I also think, because I used to work up in Estes Park, and Linda, I don't know if you've ever been there before, but Estes Park is a really beautiful area. And I used to drive from Fort Collins to Estes Park to work every day. And I would have people say, how can you stand that drive? I'd say, are you kidding? It's this gorgeous canyon. I would see wildlife. I'd see the river. And I would just think, God, how lucky I am that I get to see this 5 days a week. And other people were saying, boy, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. And I said, I guess it's what you make of it. You know, sort of like your driving meditation. And believe me, my eyes were open too because it was a winding road. I think when you embrace the things that may seem mundane to others, and even the mundane, when I was driving across Kansas a couple weeks back, you know, for the most part, I was embracing seeing the impalas out in the fields and the cows and the baby cows, and just being appreciative for my eyesight. And, you know, I think a month ago or so, Londa, you were saying, I asked God to show me what I need to see, you know, and I think that's a beautiful way of putting it. Over. I also like how God doesn't do the high pressure, you must meditate every day in a lotus position and, you know, that kind of thing. Because I can do that, but I don't prefer to do meditating that way. I like to be like nature walking, even being outside, just outside my own house, and take a pause and listen to the birds and, you know, the distant barking dog. And I can hear, we have a train that's not too far from my house, and I get to hear the train. And I just focus on all those things instead of just going outside going, mm-hmm. But I also do something I call sky meditation. And it's from when I was a child. And if there are clouds in the sky, you just look long enough and you might see a flying monkey, you might see a dog, you might see a whale. One time when I was doing that, I had just was on my way to the doctor's office, and I can't remember, I had something wrong with my right foot. I'd stepped on something. I don't remember what it was. It wasn't an emergency. But, and I have a photograph of this. If I can dig it up, I will, but not today. I saw a cloud that was in the shape of a foot. And at first it freaked me right out because I thought it was a portent that I was going to have my foot amputated. And I ended up laughing at myself because it absolutely had nothing to do with that, but I did think it was an interesting shape cloud. And I put that up on my Facebook page one day, and I said, I'm looking up all the time. And this person made a comment and said, God, I don't even know if I look at the sky every day. And I said, how can you not look at the sky every day? At least I do. And that's the way it is. Well, we could read this really long chapter 10. You're on mute, Linda.
You're on mute.
Okay, I thought, okay, and then I went and saw it. I'm like, okay, I can read that. Okay, chapter 10. This is Neil speaking. I love you. Do you know that? Yes, and I love you too. Do you know that? I'm starting to. I'm really starting to. Good.
I'm not even sure what to say to that.
I'm starting to feel it, and there is a lightness to really knowing that all of life is created by love and made of light. And as an aside, I started reading Neil's 4th book this morning.
Cheater.
It came on Friday. And Neil was on the Evolutionary Church yesterday morning.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. He's going to come to one of these ones again soon, right, Nanette?
I talked to him about it, and he has got a schedule for the next 8 months where he is going to be traveling.
Jam-packed.
Yep. So I don't know that we'll get him in here soon.
That's okay.
But what I was thinking is that when we come across some of the questions we come across, we can write them down, and I can send them to him and just say, can you point us in a direction where we can better understand this, or what does God mean when God says that? But he's going to be which is surprising because he was not going to be doing any more traveling, but he must be feeling pretty good because he's going to be doing a lot of traveling. And then he put a P.S. Plus, my wife would like to have some of my attention. I said, okay. I can't argue that. So when he was on that yesterday, what did he have to say?
He was talking about the book Awakening the Species, and him and Barbara were talking about how they met, that they first met on the day that Lady Diana Spencer passed, and it was kind of like a love fest, which the Evolutionary Church is anyway, but yesterday was especially, there was a lot of love on that call between Barbara and Neil.
Which reminds me that Barbara and Neil are going to be on a telecast this coming Thursday, the 4th. And I believe, I'll double check, but I believe it starts at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And they're going to be talking about the consciousness shift and sacred action. And I'm sure they'll both complement each other. And those two are like two peas in a pod anyway.
They are the divine masculine and the divine feminine in human form.
Yep. And they can both really be pretty funny too. I remember it with, I had the good fortune of, and I've met Barbara in person several times, but I went somewhere down in Colorado Springs or South Boulder or something, and or South Denver, I mean, and videoed her. And while I was videoing her, I not like burst into tears, boo-hoo, but tears were just streaming down my face because she really is a mother figure. And it made me, because my mother had already passed at that point, and I felt like my mother was coming through her and putting her arms around me. And then I had an opportunity 4 or 5 years ago where I got to interview Barbara, and it was just she and me. And I said, now, I can do one of two things. I can tell you what I'm going to ask you, or she goes, oh, no, don't tell me what you're going to ask me. She goes, because then I'll be thinking about it, and I won't be listening to the conversation. She goes, I'd rather have it just be impromptu. But she's just a beautiful soul. She really is. And she cracks me up because she says that I forget how she coins it. It's something like menopause, but it's like womenopause or, she just talks about how it's this new place in your life where you open up more and you see life for what it is. And she says is she in her 90s or in her 80s?
She's like 84.
She's in her 80s.
Okay. She says that she's 84 years young then. Yeah. And anyway, she's a delightful person to be around. So if you don't want to miss that call if you're available.
I get to go to Sunrise Ranch the end of this month. Well, the end of next month.
Well, and that's 25
She's
minutes
living
from me.
And she's living there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the oldest intentional community in the U.S.
And someone told me it was older than Findhorn even, that it's actually the oldest intentional community ever, anywhere.
Cool.
I don't know that that's accurate, but I was going to do some research.
It's an interesting place. I like going up there, but I wouldn't want to live there. I don't know why, and I've been there several times, and everybody's very nice, and we got a good energy. But anyway, Linda, it's 25 minutes from my front door to theirs, so maybe I can meet for lunch one day up there with you.
Maybe, yeah.
And I don't know if you know this, but you left and it started snowing here.
Yes, I saw that.
Yep.
I
And
got out just in time.
yep, and it's stuck to the ground. I mean, it's mostly melted off now, but there was a couple inches on the ground, and I was like, my lilacs. This has happened a couple times. I don't think they're going to open now. I think their season is been frosted.
Aw.
But anyway, since it's 6 minutes till, and I know it's ending short and we started late, but we don't have time to read chapter 11 because it's not as short of a chapter.
Right.
Who's on the phone at the 561?
Is that Anne?
I'm on mute. Yes. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Ann.
Yep. And I'm gonna.
I got on late today. I'm sorry.
No worries.
We were late getting started.
Yeah, we were late getting started because I can't see me, and I rebooted my computer and did all this other stuff while everybody sat there waiting on me.
Well, could we read a little more?
Well, we can read for 5 minutes. I don't know if we should just read for 5 minutes
No.
into the next chapter because we'll have to read it over again.
Okay.
But anyway, I just want to make an announcement that I may, excuse me, I may put up a new number and see if that helps this problem out with me not being able to see me. So I may create a new room. So make sure you look on either.
Check the credentials.
Yep. And make sure that.
Nanette, will you send that to me as well so that I can post it on HT Canada
Yes.
and HTBC? Thank you.
Yes. And I'm not going to promise that I'm going to do that because if I can figure out what's wrong with the one we're using, I'll keep that.
Well, the one that you sent me still has the date March 11th on it. So if you could send me one that it's not going to post the same date as well, I'd appreciate it.
Well, that's weird because I'm not sending them out.
Yeah,
You only sent me the one, and it was, I could still use it, but every time, because we're still reading Conversations with God, Book 3, but it gives a date, March 11th, that you sent it to me on the on what I post.
That is very weird because that's not what it says on mine. Well, I'll be looking into a couple of glitches. But this happened the other day on a phone call that I was on for work. and it wasn't my Zoom room, so I don't know what the problem was, but I couldn't see me, you know. But
Well, the energies are very intense. Patty Coda Robles had, she has her weekly vlogs, and she sent out another thing about the energies, and it's going to be even more intense starting tomorrow with Mother Mary bathing us all in her love. And yeah, it's intense energies. That's what it is.
And we've got Jupiter in retrograde, Saturn's in retrograde, Mercury's in retrograde, and Pluto's in retrograde.
Hi, Piper.
Yep, that's Piper.
Yeah, beautiful Piper.
Yep, I'll be there in 1 minute. Okay, I promise. No, I'm not going to get on your swing.
No, can I get
Yes, you can go get on your swing. What was I going to say? See, I can't deal with interruption too much.
The technologies and
Oh, what does all the retrograde mean?
Well, it's just, so let's see. When Jupiter goes retrograde, it's a good time to review our visions, ideals, beliefs, and systems in life. When Saturn is retrograde, it's a good time to revisit our relationship, work on long-term goals, responsibilities, and duties. It's a time to restructure the way we manifest our reality and find a new attitude towards obstacles. Mercury, we pretty much know. Mistakes, misunderstandings, problems in communication and transportation are likely. Don't sign any contracts, buy new items, or begin new projects. It's an excellent time to plan, research, and prepare for something that will happen later. And Pluto, when Pluto's retrograde, it's a good time to reflect on how we are doing with change and transformation.
And it seems to me that Mercury is practically always in retrograde.
Lately, yeah, it seems that way.
The last
Well-
5 years.
And I want to keep talking, but I'm gonna stop the recording. Okay. Let's see.